how's it going? Okay, so part 2 of the video. If you didn't see the part 1, you can go back and look at it. It should be there. Yeah, everything's there. There'll be the things that I talked about, the 2 shopping things, Cassie's YouTube channel, for Ruth, our friend Ruth, and her niece Christy, her fundraiser that they're doing for leukemia and lymphoma. It will be there, and please check those out, and please do what you can. You know, we can all kind of only do what we can, so I just want to let you know about those things. So go ahead and check those out. They'll be below, they'll be in the description, and I've talked about them on the other video at the beginning, so you can see what that's about. So I'm going to get on with the reading because I felt like there was a few things that came through. One was kind of interesting. So one was, it had to do with, you know, my guides, they're very clever how they get through to me because they know I don't always get things right away, but they use a lot of film. If you don't know, they use a lot of film, TV clips, things like that. And in the holidays, you know, they kind of have a sense of humor, which a lot of guides do, actually. They're full of you know, of joy and love, and they have incredible patience, and they usually have a sense of humor. So, but it's the holidays, so they gave me a holiday clip, which was actually very meaningful to me because it's in a movie that we would watch every year, which is The Polar Express. There's a point in The Polar Express when when the Polar Express is going down a mountain and they hit ice, and it kind of slips around on the ice. And it's actually a part that my heart stops every time I see it. I've seen it 100 times, but every time I'm just like, it's so scary. But I kept seeing that, and I know the feeling it evokes me, which is kind of like fear. But I also feel like along with the feeling of that clip is kind of like danger, be careful, caution, that kind of thing. So it's like, be careful. So there's something about that, about ice, maybe ice storms, maybe black ice. If you live in areas where they have like ice can appear on the roadways and things, just be cautious and aware. And if you get kind of, I say, like suggestions from your, whatever it is, the weather stations or traffic or whatever, just to heed them, just to be aware and to listen to them, and maybe just be extra careful right now. When I get a message, it's not for nothing, it's for something. So it also could be something bigger, as far as maybe an actual train accident. I'm not really sure. To me, it doesn't feel like in that clip everything is okay. You know, it like turns, it's people aren't killed or anything. It's scary, and it's unexpected, but it's not, in that clip anyway, it's not deadly. So but I just want to bring that to your attention, and like I said, it's for something, it's not for nothing. Somebody also sent me a clip of this space mission that exploded, and I did see an explosion at one point a few videos ago. I have to think that this is what it was. I didn't feel like there was like death involved, so yeah, so that kind of just came up. So I'm just like letting you guys know that I think that may have been it. And so I don't think there's another explosion to come. So I just want to ease your mind about that. The other thing I wanted to tell you about is that I am getting a feeling that there's going to be some pockets of violence around this Trump stuff, even though the overall effort is going to fail and the support is going to fall away. It will be over time, and it will be over, a period of losses and a period of, people just kind of things getting back to normal. I think things are so weird right now, and people are so worried and scared. They're, the coronavirus has brought out some paranoid kind of weird aspects of our society. And so I feel like as these things kind of go back to normal and we have some norms in place again, that some things will not go back to normal. Some things that were wrong will not go back to normal, but the things that are kind of are make us feel safe and that kind of thing will go back to normal. I feel like these people will kind of drip away from Trump, and he'll end up very isolated and by himself. And there'll always be some, portion of people that are willing to believe whatever, whenever, and willing to, wanting to cling to whatever this is. But I feel like for the most part, most people are going to fall away over the next couple of years, and it will just be kind of one of those things that exposed a lot and went down in history as something kind of shameful in our history, and a giant learning curve for the United States. And a humbling in a lot of ways. We're going to be humbled and by this, and hopefully fix a lot of things that we've needed to fix for a long time. I wanted to look at Rudy Giuliani because he got this excellent care, which is, it's maddening, and but it's not surprising, right? I mean, these clowns, they stick up for each other, and what seems like a win right now may not be in a year or two. But I felt like with him, there's something that I feel like is, although he has this treatment and he's made it through the coronavirus, it seems, there's going to be some lasting effect that follows him. And I feel like it's going to be ultimately something, just a lingering effect that stays with him that isn't good, that is kind of health-wise seems really negative. So I just wanted to bring that up. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I feel like it is something in the chest. So either heart or lungs or something like that, because it's like a major thing. And to me, it just kind of lingers and kind of worsens. So this is for entertainment purposes only. Clearly, I'm not, I don't have any inside knowledge. It's just, I'm just getting this from my guide. So I just wanted you guys to know that it's just entertainment purposes only. There's something too about Trump and the way this all ends up. There's something, I'm not exactly sure. I'm getting like this in the moment, so I'm not exactly sure, but it feels like something, I want to say like it's poetic. It's like poetic justice. It's almost like a proper ending. Something about the way this ends for him. I don't know if it's just like the way things kind of fall away from him, are taken from him, or if it's actually his actual like ending, the ending of his life. And I feel like there's something connected to Putin. I feel like they may, and again, entertainment purpose only, like they may pass away around the same time. And there's something very like odd about it, something it feels, I want to say icky, but it's not a very great description, but it feels like mired in, it's almost creepy. I guess that's what I want to say, kind of creepy about this ending. But there's also something kind of poetic and that's kind of justice in a way. So just keep that in mind. I almost feel like my guides don't want to tell me too much, but there's something there, okay? Somebody wanted me to look at what is going to happen to all these empty buildings and empty apartments and things in New York. What would happen to them? So I'm going to do that. And already I'm seeing like to me, this looks like commercials, like come to New York, come spend your money here, come live here. It's almost like a tourism kind of push for people to, it's like those commercials you see for like Montana, come and live Montana, it's like that, but it's, to me, it's like a concentrated effort to bring business back and bring people back. Somebody just said reimagining. It's reimagining New York. There's going to be something that's very different about it going forward. It won't be exactly the same. There are going to be efforts put in place to keep rents a little bit more under control. Rent control, I guess that's what it is. And some incentives to help businesses and help things come back. New York will be back. It will reemerge as a great city, and it will. But to me, it's kind of like they're going to like clog up, like help where the holes were that kind of made the bottom fall through during the coronavirus. So they're going to try to really help to change things going forward. It will kind of be reimagined, but it will still be a great city, and be a diamond in the United States. Still, it is going to be that, but it is a little reimagined. It's like they're going to make it better in a lot of ways. Okay. I also got an email about somebody wanting to know about what's wrong with us? Why did so many people vote for Trump? Why did this, why are people clinging on to this man? Why are people clinging on to the Republican Party? And what I can tell you, and I'm going to look at it now as well. And when I do that, when I say like I'm looking at it now as well, it's kind of like I'm opening up so that more information can come through if it needs to. And so that's what I'm doing, but I'm also letting you know what I've already gotten about that question. And that is that the system has been broken for a long time. And a lot of things are just coming to light now, but they've been in place for a long time. This kind of like, these big giant donors and people being really bought and paid for. It's like, this is an old thing that's happened. It's just gotten worse, and it's gotten to a tipping point is all that's happened. And with coronavirus, it's really exploded, made us realize how corrupt and how debased and how gross the Republican Party has become. And I'm sure there are Democrats in certain states and certain cities and stuff that play along with this game as well. But for the most part, it's in the Republican Party, and it's really gross. And it's been really sad to see, how people are made to suffer because of this, because certain people just don't want to let go of power, and they'll do whatever they have to keep power. So that's part of it, but also understand that in this election, how much was done to stop the vote. The post office was messed with, all of the things they did, and they still lost. by, 7 million votes or something. So had they not done anything, had they just had the election and done no gerrymandering, no messing with the post office, no disenfranchising voters, it would have been it was already a landslide, just for sake of argument. It was the greatest loss in American history, right? Because it was the most voters in American history. So when I got that message a long time ago, that's exactly what it was. And I keep hearing it on MSNBC. They keep saying this was a historic loss. This was a historic win for Biden and a historic loss for Trump because of the amount of people who voted. So although it seems like, this was so close and they're able to do, it wasn't close. It wasn't close. Not only that, it wasn't down ticket. In other words, they voted against Trump and voted for their local, maybe local Republican or something. This was a clear, complete, rejection of Trump. And just because these people are loud and just because they will cheat and just because they will do anything to stay in power doesn't mean they're popular, doesn't mean people like them, doesn't mean people like what's going on. They are on their way out. And this election was just the beginning. Okay, so understand that although it seems like, to see what's going on, see the way they're acting as if it was close in some way, it's just ridiculous. It's them being ridiculous and continuing to act as though they've got a stranglehold on the country, and they don't. So, and it will take a little time, for this to kind of unwind, and we're going to get out of this, but it didn't happen overnight. So it's not going to end overnight, but we're on our way. We're getting out of it. We will get out of it. We will go into a different direction. It's happening. Okay. So try not to be too concerned. Okay. Another question that was brought to my attention was about the, Pfizer and about Moderna and about these other vaccines, and kind of which are the best ones, what we can expect when we're going to get out of this mess because they screwed up the Pfizer deal. It's like, how bad at deals does he have to be for us to get that he's not the deal maker he said he was, Trump. But anyway, what I feel like is that Moderna may be the best one right now. I feel like that and Pfizer are very kind of neck and neck. I do feel like there's going to be, as we've seen, kind of like some side effects and some certain reactions to certain things, because these are heavy duty drugs. And so, but I feel like for the most part, they'll be safe. For the most part, they'll be effective. I do feel like though they'll get better. They will get better. I'd seen early on that the treatments would kind of come first, which is like the Regeneron and all that stuff that are not, again, they screwed up the deal, so it's not widely, accessible, but that kind of came first. And those also will get easier to manufacture and easier to give out. So we have that. And then we also have the vaccines coming, and the vaccines are just going to improve, and there'll just be more of them. They'll just be like more and more and more. And so I have seen that, by the middle of spring here, we start to see some real dents in this. And then by the end of summer, things are pretty normal. Things are pretty, people expect to go back to school in September, and it seems pretty normal here. That being said, it's going to be a hard winter. It's going to be a depressing winter, and it's going to be a winter where I feel like a lot of people are going to kind of wake up. A lot of these things are going to be laid bare and made clear. They're going to be trials. Like I said, I've seen several times I've seen this massive trial that takes place, and to me it has to do with the corruption and the profiteering off of the coronavirus. So that's going to be all laid bare. And also with the criminal stuff that went on the border with immigration, that's going to be laid bare. And things are going, the system seems like it's going to be changing a lot as far as like ICE and police and policing and all of the stuff around how immigration is done. I feel like there's going to be a huge immigration policy coming. And this, to me, my guides have described it as like the crowning glory of this one guy, this guy who's going to kind of take on and find the parents of these little children, try to make things right, set things right as they can be. He's going to dig into the illegalities of all of this, and he's also going to come up with a amazing immigration reform and DACA recipients, like solidify it so it never is under attack again. This man, I feel like he's going to be heralded as kind of a hero in the immigration, oh, I've just got chills, like immigration community and immigration as a whole. It's like this is his baby, his crowning achievement. And so I feel like he's just going to go at this like not let anything stop him. He's just going for it. So that is going to change. And that was, again, and I was going to say, it's another question somebody had for me was about immigration and about what was going to happen to immigrants in this country. So, and again, this won't be overnight, but it will be dramatic, and it will be over time. And I feel like over the next few years, whenever just like during impeachment and all those things, I would check in with Nancy Pelosi to be like, what is she, how is she feeling about this? I've been doing the same thing with Joe Biden, and he's very hopeful. And I also feel like, although I know that some of the people that are more on the left in the party are kind of annoyed with some of his choices, some of the things he's doing and not doing, I feel like he really does see himself as this kind of in-between point with the older generation and the newer generation taking over. And I feel like he really is going to go for certain things. He really is going to go for like Medicare for all. He's going to go for it. There are certain things he's just going to go for it because he just feels like he's the bridge. And so he needs to push things in a certain direction. I feel like that's what he feels his position is. It's not really the old guard and it's not really the new guard. He kind of sees himself as the bridge. So it's kind of his way to kind of get things moving in a certain direction, but not necessarily get it there all the way. He is going to be amazing as a healer and as a person who kind of finally bridges some of these divides that we've had. Not with everybody. There's going to be some people that are just not interested, but it's going to be enough that we can move things in a direction and keep them moving in a certain direction. Okay. And it's, this, I kind of feel like when I look at things and I ask about them, I almost feel like my guides are telling me and telling us that it's almost like that isn't your business. Just, this is going to have some faith that these things are going to turn around. Do what you can, but focus on your own story, because it's all of us together as a collective that's going to be the next chapter, the new era. And so I keep asking you guys to look at, what is your part? What part are you going to play? What part of yourself have you neglected because we had to work 2 and 3 jobs before coronavirus hit? or because you had to work in a job maybe you weren't crazy about, but you had to earn a certain amount of money. And now everything it's kind of stripped bare. It's kind of stripped away. So where do you go from here? Not everybody's in that position. Some people are working harder than they've ever worked. And maybe that's bringing up different kinds of questions as well. So I feel like it's kind of like look inside, internalize this. What is it saying to you? Get back in touch with those impulses and those instincts, because I kind of feel like my guides, at least, to me personally, and I feel like it's for you guys too, they've been impressing upon me that I need to be in touch with those instincts, that part of you that's very alive when you're a little kid, when you know what your interests are and you know what you're interested in, you know how to spend your days, and you know what to put your attention towards. And as we grow older, it gets a little bit distorted because we start to have baggage, and we start to have perceived responsibilities, or perceived things that we have to do, that we should do, that maybe our parents made us feel we should do, or maybe our life situation made us feel we should do, or what religion we are made us feel we should do. And I feel like my guides are impressing upon me to impress upon you that we need to get back to that kind of instinctive part of ourselves that tells us this is what we need to spend our time doing. This is what we need to be focused in. This is where we find joy. This is where we find real enthusiasm, when we're doing this rather than this. Okay. And I hope this makes sense to you, but I just feel like it's kind of like this is the time where things are really going to change a lot in the next few years. And it's up to us to be part of that in the way we want to be part of it. Are you a musician who's put your music aside because you had to work at this job? Rethink that. Like I said, this next few years, it's going to be a real shift when it comes to spirituality, how it plays a part in our society, the way that the arts play a part in our society. They're going to be kind of front and center, and we're going to need every single person who is able to do these things and be involved in these things, and follow what your heart is telling you, what your instincts are telling you, who you really are. Figure that out and then go for it. This is the time. Okay. I'm just telling you what I'm getting. So I hope this makes sense to you. If it doesn't, watch this again. Maybe it will. But these are the messages I need to give you guys. And I hope that it makes sense to you. I hope that there is something that speaks to you. Dig deep. Listen to your own inner voice, your higher self, your guides, your angels, whatever you want to say, that part of you that knows what you should be doing right now. Listen to it. Okay. And yeah, so those are the messages I have for you guys. And if you're still interested in classes, my classes haven't gone anywhere. You can get them anytime you want. Go to intuitiview.com, hit pricing in the right-hand corner. You'll go down, you'll see the descriptions. You can get the classes if you're ready to take them. If you're not, it's okay. They'll just be there, because we all come to these spaces and time at different times. So it's okay. If you're not ready, or if you think, that's kind of weird, whatever, that's okay. That's okay. Do it when you feel like the time is right. Okay. You'll know. And please check out Cassie's YouTube channel. The description will be at the bottom. It's something she's doing. They are video essays. She's trying to get her blog really going. She's a writer. She is going into filmmaking now that she's graduated. So please support her. I just miss her. I just miss her. That's all I can say. And it would make me so happy. And so it would make her so happy to just have support. You know, she has support and just the nice things she's trying to bring into the world. I mean, we all need to support each other at this time. So yeah, so please do that and enjoy the shopping that I've given you guys, and you know, anything you can do to help different charities. I'm looking at the one, you know, people have sent me a couple of ideas for next time, so I'm going to take those up and I'll be doing that soon. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a couple days, a few days, probably over the weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye guys.